Hello there, I hope you're doing well today. And in this video, we're going to be talking about, for parents who homeschool, how do you go about choosing the curriculum you want to use? We're going to kind of delve into that. We've had similar questions in the past, but we're going to flesh it out maybe in a slightly different context. So stay tuned as we answer that question. First, we got to begin talking about what it is you're looking for when you're buying the curriculum. Second, we want to be talking about the age of your child, because that's going to kind of factor in with what you need to purchase. Third, we want to talk about enhancing it. What can you do to, after you bought one, to kind of make it your own? Fourth, how do you determine the value? Not everything's the same, so how do you determine whether a $400 curriculum program is as valuable as a $4,000 curriculum program? We'll talk about all that. And fifth, we're going to be looking at the pros and cons of the electronic medium and what to do and how to factor that in your decision-making process. All right, so you're a parent, you're looking for your curriculum. What do you need to check out? Well, first of all, you need to teach math. You need to teach reading and writing. You need to teach some basic science type stuff. You need to teach social studies, history, and economics, and all these different social sciences. Well, depending on the age, we'll kind of factor in on what you want to teach, but you need to be looking to make sure that you're getting all those bases covered, right? How are they going about teaching it? You want to look at that process. Is it a lot of rote memory? How are they structuring the writing component? How are they going about teaching reading? Do they include phonics, or is it all based on whole language? Are they using computer-based learning or books and paper and workbooks? Are they trying to cover the different modalities? Are they offering you opportunities to maybe find some kinesthetic and auditory components to that? What is included in it amongst the different subject areas geared to the age of your child? That's what you want to be kind of looking for. So you've been kind of looking at curriculum, you're a parent. How old are your children? You want to be looking at curriculum that is going to meet the needs of different kind of developmental stages. Often we look at like pre-K to K as one stage, and then around kindergarten up to maybe about the age of 8, typically like K to 2 grade as another stage. And again, these aren't like solid numbers, but they give you an idea. Then ages about 3 to 5. I even say it might even be more like age 4 to 6, and then 7 to 9, and then 10 to 12. That seems to be kind of some better developmental stages or age groups that you'd be looking at, because they're all a little bit different with a little bit different goals for each one. So any curriculum you are looking at, you want to look at, is it really aimed at that age level? And one thing you might want to be asking yourself is how much direct instruction is required with me and the student at the different ages. It might be that the elementary school age, they're expecting a lot more of your time and direct instruction, and as somebody's going to be homeschooling their children, you want to be thinking about that. You want to be thinking about what it's offering. So those are the questions that you really need to consider about the developmental stage and ages and what's being offered. So parents, this is where your mindset is going to come in, and how you can take what you are buying and adapt it and enhance it and look at your children and try to figure out what you might do. Let me give you kind of an example. I used what was essentially a homeschool curriculum in my public school classroom for a number of years. It was one of the best writing programs I ever had. It was a prepackaged program, but I did a whole lot of finding articles and things that fit the structural style that they utilize, but the supplemental materials that I found helped me develop this for my humanities program, where we were incorporating social studies into the language arts. And it also allowed me to also begin to focus on shifting of beliefs. So things I would try to find are designed to help. All right, I have mindset work to do on these students. What can I find that can help with making those shifts, help interrupt some negative thinking by giving some positive examples of other way of doing things. So I enhanced that myself by going on the internet and doing searches and all those things that you can do as well as a parent. Right, now you need to begin to assess the value, because you can find curriculum from really low end to really expensive. And you really need to begin to look at it. What is it that you're actually getting and included, and what are you comparing it to, right? So the desired outcome, what's your desired outcome, and which curriculum is going to help you get to that desired outcome? What are some of the skills that are being taught? So there's obviously the academic piece that you want your child, when they are done their homeschooling years, to have a high school diploma that means something, right? So whether they go right out into the work world, what have you, they've developed skills that have value in the marketplace. Or, like over 70% of homeschool parents whose children go on to college, you want them to be able to get in the college of their choice and do well in college. So there are certain academic skill sets you need to make sure happen. So you got to assess, all right, what I'm spending, what am I getting in return for what I'm spending in order for me to meet those goals. You can also try to keep in mind the comparison for what your area, your district, what's the average student tuition rate. So you can roughly figure this out. This is not like real hard math. Basically, what's the school district size for number of students? How much are they spending? Divide the two numbers. It's going to give you a rough idea what it costs per student. Now, included in that are special ed costs, co-curricular activity costs, all those kind of things. But you get a rough idea what it costs per child in your district, and that can give you an idea of what what it may cost to educate your child in a private school as well. You know, we understand that technology has some great benefits, and in education, they've used this, and there's some really good programs, reading programs, math programs, that are online programs that you can purchase a seat at on a yearly basis. Schools have kind of brought some of these in, and they automatically individualize as students progress. They can work at their own speed, and they're in front of the computer working on their math or their reading. Those are two primary areas where you're going to see some of these kind of programs. And they are wonderful in so many regards. There's one huge, and I do mean personally, my own personal opinion, and there's data from the book Glow Kids that would support this, particularly at the younger age. That much time in front of a screen is not good, all right? My personal opinion, my professional opinion, from some of the data I've read is, especially when they're younger, keep them off the screen, all right? They will develop computer skills at the developmental time when they're really ready. But you really owe it to yourselves to kind of read the book, Glow Kids, read some of the other literature that's out there about the dangers of screen addiction that's coming up, especially when you start kids at a young age doing it. So I would strongly encourage you not to rely on the laptop as a teaching modality, all right? It can be utilized for a lot of creative forces and creative good, and even some research, even at some young ages. But I would strongly suggest that is done right there when they're young, in particular elementary school age, with adult supervision around. So that's again, it's both my personal, professional opinion based on some research and data, but I'd be very apprehensive about utilizing online learning, particularly in the elementary school ages. I really hope that you were able to get some valuable information and as you search for homeschool curriculum, people who are watching this, you may be interested in checking out other videos, such as how different learning styles can influence academic success. So if you subscribe to my channel, you can check out all those videos, and you also would have access to the podcast I'm doing. I'm doing a whole series right now on mindset and mental health. I've done some other series. We'll have more coming down, but check all that out today, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.